All right. Good afternoon, everyone. How's it going? Welcome back and welcome to the Resource Roundup with me, Reyes. If you've been here before, welcome back. I hope you've been well since last time. If you haven't been here before, well, this is a program powered by Fresh Arts, which is a nonprofit arts organization primarily based out of Houston, Texas. But through channels such as this, we've expanded our reach, and we hope we learn something today, which is we're going to go through a series of deadlines for opportunities that are happening, that are due usually at the end of the month or soon. And so they range from grants to opportunities, calls for entry, residencies, and also other resources that we find that we think will be helpful for you, a working artist. And so today we have a lot of deadlines, and so which can be a good thing. A lot of things to shoot for, and so these are deadlines that are coming up. And so if you ever want to see these, just go to our website and look at the Artist Opportunity Board, because today we're not going to go through every deadline. There's just so many, so I've had to handpick of quite a few for you today. But you're always welcome to visit the Artist Opportunity Board to see what is up, to get a jump on deadlines, because we're only going to be discussing really December and early January, very early January. But there are more deadlines that are happening, so you're always welcome to check that out, get a jump on that. And so there's the link, and it's also in the comments, so just click that. And then today at 4 p.m., you will receive the Artist Resource newsletter. So any deadlines that are coming up that are not discussed in the roundup will be in the newsletter. So please be sure to check that out. And you can subscribe, and you can get all that stuff directly to your inbox the first and third Thursday of the month. So there you go. Please subscribe. Get all that good stuff, good energy in your inbox every first and third Thursday. And so again, I'm going to go through a series of deadlines. I'm going to give you some insight, because I'm usually the one that curates and picks them. And so I read as much as I can on the source, on who's providing the opportunity, and I try to give some tips. And so hopefully today, by you tuning in, you'll get some tips on how to approach some of these opportunities that you wouldn't get otherwise. So let's get to it. I'm going to share my screen. And so hopefully you can see my screen. And so first thing to note is that our podcast, season 1, all the episodes are up. So definitely check this out for some insights from local Houston artists on contemporary issues and subjects that affect the working artist, such as should I or shouldn't I go full-time with my art career? Should I or shouldn't I seek to be represented by a professional? Or the most relevant, perhaps, should I or shouldn't I, most relevant in terms of what we're doing right now, the episode 6, the final one, should I or shouldn't I invest in time and funds in applying for opportunities? That discussion is particularly relevant because it is, right, like how much time should you commit to applying for opportunities, which ones are worth your time, which ones will get you what you want out of them. So definitely check this out. It is buzzsprout.com, but you can also listen to it at all these podcast streaming sites. So please check that out. They're usually about less than an hour to listen to, but full of a lot of great information. All right. So the first opportunity I want to talk about is the Red Bull Arts micro grant. This one is interesting because even if you apply and you don't get it, they actually tell you to reapply. It says it right here. So there is no requirement to wait a certain amount of time since your last application. And so it says closing on December 31st. I'm probably going to renew that because it seems like it's going to go on. It's ongoing indefinitely. And so it awards 2 $1,000 grants each month to different cities, but most relevantly here in Houston, it's free to apply. The application is fairly straightforward. And so again, if you don't get it, they tell you to apply again. So just apply every month. Once you reach that kind of streamlining your process, keep applying to this until you get it, because why not? So that is the Red Bull Arts Micro Grant. And again, it's really any discipline. The second thing I want to bring up is Graywolf Press. They are a press that prints books, particularly known for their poetry books, but they are having a paid comprehensive 10-month fellowship. And it is completely remote, as stated here. It's a part-time kind of fellowship, but it pays $25,000, PTO, and health and dental insurance. So if you're looking to get into publishing, definitely check this one out. This is completely on remote, and it pays pretty well for a part-time, and you get benefits. So that is due this Friday. It's a fairly straightforward application. You just need a cover letter, resume, and a one-page single-space discussion of contemporary book. So apply to this if you're looking to get into the publishing world. The next thing I want to talk about is a Pasadena Shaw Street request for qualifications for muralists. Pasadena in Texas. And so they're having, again, a call for muralists, and that is due this Friday as well. The budget is about $10,000, not to exceed $10,000. And artists that are selected to pitch or go to the shortlist will be given us the stipend of $350 to create a design concept. So it's free to apply. If you get picked, you'll get paid in terms of like the shortlist. So you don't even have to come up with anything. Just apply. And then if they take you to the next step, they will pay you for that. And again, it's about $10,000. And that is due this Friday. The next thing is another job. Austin Batcave, they are hiring for an executive director. So this is based in Austin, Texas. This is due this Friday. And so this is a creative writing education nonprofit. And so if you wanted to get into that, or you think you'd have a pretty good shot with your experience, check this out. This is based in Austin, Texas, and it is due this Friday. Up next, we have Sawyer Yards call for sculptures. And so Sawyer Yards, where the Fresh Arts office is located, they obviously have a call for sculptures, and that is due Friday, December 4th, this Friday. This is a $1,000 stipend. And the sculptures will be on view for 8 months, January through August. So check this out. Apply this due Friday. They also welcome drawing, painting, photography, sculpture, installation, performance, video, and new media. Speaking of Sawyer Yards, Fotofest is having the John Herron Memorial Scholarship for Black photographers. So if this applies to you, definitely check this one out. This is a chance to get one of 5 scholarships for the International Meeting Place 2021 Virtual Portfolio Review, which is happening next March in 2021. You'll receive 16 one-on-one portfolio review appointments with these curators. And so this is free to apply to. This is for photographers who identify as Black. And so this is due next Friday, December 11th. And you'll get a pretty quick turnaround time, which is important in and of itself. It's better to get an answer sooner rather than later. Up next, we have, again, due next Friday, Texas Folklife's Apprenticeship Program. And so what this is if you work in a quote unquote traditional artistic practice, which can include, let's see if they have their definite. Yeah, right. So you can do stuff from like music, right? Like traditional music, conjunto, dance, drumming, indigenous, Native American healing arts, but also to, again, horse saddlery, again, like anything that is kind of seen as folklore or folkloric or folk or traditional art. This is a grant to have an apprenticeship, and they range from $2,500 to $3,000. It covers mentor fees, supplies, materials, and travel. And so if you work in a kind of craft or traditional art, this is for you to essentially to mentor someone in that art. Or if you want to be mentored, reach out to someone who you would want to be your mentor. So I think this is a really interesting opportunity just because of what practices it's willing to serve. So check that out. That's due next Friday. Up next, we have National Endowment for the Humanities, Public Scholars. This is a really interesting opportunity because it very much focuses on people who are not academic writers. It says the program is intended both to encourage non-academic writers to deepen their engagement with the humanities and to encourage academic writers in the humanities to communicate the significance of their research. And so what this is if you're working on a book in terms of history or the humanities, so if you're, let's say, doing like a history of an art scene in Houston, or you're doing some sort of study of things that are happening in Houston, what this does is this gives you a good chunk of money. I forgot, but it's supposed to be a year's worth. So I think 40,000 or 60,000. And you get the grant can apply to research, writing, travel, and other activities leading to publication. And so this is due Wednesday, December 16th. So again, if you're writing a book, let's say about the history, like a history of Houston, or about anything that's nonfiction, and writers, and in terms of writer speak, unfortunately, this does not go to creative nonfiction. Having watched a seminar about this, they want stuff that is facts. So just straight up facts. So whether it be history or sociological study or something that is well-researched nonfiction, it can't be, unfortunately, creative nonfiction. They don't want anything that you could potentially make up. So everything has to be sourced and all that stuff. So if you're working on something like this, or you're interested in working on like a history of Houston or a sociological study or anything like that, this is your go-to. Definitely check this one out. That is due Wednesday, December 16th. Up next, we have the Society for the Performing Arts. They have a Houston Artist Commissioning Project that is going on. They're giving out 3 awards who will be given to working performing artists or groups within the greater Houston metro area to create 15 to 25-minute work. And it's a $5,000 artist award. You'll get technical support from SPA, Society for the Performing Arts. And so what this is to put on a performance for SPA. And so as I said, it's commissioned to do so. Last time was virtual commissions, but that deadline passed, came and went. But this one is free to apply to, $5,000 to put on a performance. And that is due, misspelled, Friday, December 18th. Up next, we have another job, Mercury Chamber Orchestra. They have a call for a patron relations manager. That is due Friday, December 18th as well. So this is to essentially do front of house, a lot of marketing and fundraising data, all that good stuff. Couldn't be me. Unfortunately, I was not blessed with a numerical sense to navigate numbers. So if this is your bag, go for it. And then we have writers in the schools. They actually have 2 openings that are coming up that are due Friday, January 1st. So they have a program associate. So if you've wanted to put on writing programs for youth, this is your chance. The salary range is $40,000 to $43,000. They have compensation and benefits, and it's a good team. I've worked with writers in the schools before. Great people to work with. And again, they have 2 positions open. So the first one was programming. This is in development. So another position due, same thing, Friday, January 1st. So again, if you're blessed with the sense of finance, go for it. Up next, we have the Texas Institute of Letters literary contests. So if you're a writer and you have a book that came out, or another cool thing is they do also short form stuff. So if you published a short story or an article within the last year, 2020, any point in 2020, submit to this. If you're going to go for it now, because even though it's due Monday, January 4th, you have to mail your submission. As it states here, submissions of works must be mailed to appropriate judging committee members. And so again, check this out to see all that information. But if you want to apply for this, do it now, because you have to mail it to each committee member that's judging the contest you're applying to. And they have to receive it by Monday, January 4th. Up next, we have the Texas Vignette Artist Grant Program. This is for artists who identify as female or female identifying. You live in Texas. It's for a series of visual arts, so cinema arts, crafting arts, visual arts. There's no fee to apply. And it's for $2,000. So again, it's free. You might get $2,000 out of it. Go for it. And then again, our neighbors have a job opening at Fotofest. This is due Friday, January 8th for a manager of engagement and communications. So if you're good at talking to people, doing all that communication stuff, oh man, go for it. It's again, couldn't be me, but hopefully it's for you. And so again, this is due Friday, January 8th. And the final deadline I want to discuss for today is the Gulf South Writer in the Woods. It's another writing opportunity. This is for Gulf writer, Gulf South. That's a new term. I didn't know that there was a whole designation called the Gulf South. I mean, there's the South, there's the Southwest, but now, I'm not saying now, but but what I've learned now is that there is a Gulf South designation that applies to kind of that obviously us in Texas, that the whole region that's on the Gulf, Louisiana, and kind of anything that touches the Gulf. And so if you live there, and obviously I'm referring to Houston, you can get this residency, which will award a stipend of $5,000, a 6-week residency at a studio in the woods for over 18 months. University of Tulane University, library access. So that's where this is. It's Tulane. And so this is due January 8th, even though it's due next month. I'm telling you now, because one thing is you have to have 2 letters of recommendation. And just between you and me and everyone we know, I don't love that stipulation, 2 letters of recommendation, but hey, that's what I'm telling you now to get a jump on this. This is specifically for speculative fiction, which is interesting. You don't really see a lot of that, but definitely check this out if you are interested in getting into this field, or if you do write in this field. This is a really cool opportunity. That is due Friday, January 8th. And so this is going to be the last deadline I'm going to talk about for now. Some other news that hopefully is helpful to you. Yesterday, the Houston City Council approved $28 million more in relief money. And so some of the programs that, like the rent relief or the utility relief, that's going to happen again. And so it's going to be as many as 23,750 people, because according to this source, the city of Houston has to use CARES Act funding by the end of this year. And so yesterday they approved this payment, or rather this relief, for $1,200. And so it's not up yet how to apply. So I'm telling you now just to keep an eye for it in case it happens. It's probably going to happen today or tomorrow. So keep an eye out. Stay tuned to this, because if you need it, check out what you need to do to apply for it. So check this story out. And if it applies to you, please apply for it. And here's the city council meeting that agenda that specifically outlines. So it's going to go to housing, community development, the mayor's office, complete communities, the city's rental assistance program. And it's going to be put out by Baker Ripley. So you might want to tune into Baker Ripley's website to see when they announce this. And speaking of which, Baker Ripley has their own coronavirus resources. So this is probably where they're going to post how to apply for these new funds. They still have some rental assistance available and some food fairs coming up. So definitely check this out if you're in need of those resources. And so that concludes what we're going to be talking about today. As always, you're more than welcome to check out the Artist Opportunity Board to get a jump on different deadlines. As you can see, I didn't talk about all the deadlines that are due. So if you need to jump on some, or if you have an interest in other opportunities, please go to our Opportunity Board. And then, as always, if you need help or a hand in applying for these resources, you're welcome to go to the Artist Resource Library. You can pretty much click on any of these, but let's say fundraising and grants, you click on that. And what it'll do is it'll take you to a series of resources that we've curated or that we've created to help you in that grant writing process. So here's a toolkit, here's a virtual workshop, all that good stuff. So definitely check these out if you need help or a leg up or a new way to apply to grants, calls for submissions, all that good stuff. And that's it. So that concludes today. Hopefully I didn't take up too much of your time. But again, check these opportunities out. Subscribe to our newsletter, which is going out this afternoon at 4 p.m. You still have time to subscribe. We're going to get some deadlines that I didn't discuss in there. And there you have it. I hope you've been well. I hope you get all the money that's available. Please tell us if you get any of these opportunities. Email me at reyes@fresharts.org. We're always happy to share and spread the news and sing and praise you to the public. We're always happy to do that. As always, join us the first and third Thursday of the month. There's my email. Let me know if you get anything. If you have any follow-up questions to any of the opportunities, I'm always happy to put you in the right direction. So there you have it. Tune in next time, same place. Have a good one. Just want to thank everybody in terms of the Fresh Arts staff who have been working really hard to put on a lot of these programs. I want to thank producer Angela in the back. But yeah, thanks for watching. Stay safe and stay well. See ya.